Today's collectible spot, we're having a look at the brand new loyal subjects of Los Angeles. This is G.I. Joe Real American Hero Action Vinyls. But I couldn't have, of course, done justice to this line without having a look at an entire case. So we're going to have a look at this case consisting of 4 across, 4 up, giving us a total of 16. These are fully posable modern action vinyls. However, taking their design cues from the original Real American Hero series of the 80s, which is all the more reason why I want to pick this set up. Having a look at the first box, and as you can see, there is Snake Eyes up the top there. Before he gets his visor, Snake Eyes had more the goggle look, as you can see, featured on the front of the box. Love how it's got the explosion backdrop here, same as the old back cards of the 3 3/4 inch figure line. It's recommended for ages 4 up, I should say. And it has a choking hazard, small parts not. Some accessories have sharp edges, not for children under 3 years of age. The side of the box shows that these not only are interchangeable accessories, but the characters included in this set are the Cobra Officer, Copperhead, Firefly, Major Blood, Baroness, Crimson Guard, Cobra Sniper, and then Beachhead, Roadblock, Snake Eyes, and Blowtorch. And then on the underside there, we've got manufactured by Loyal Subjects, Los Angeles, and we've got Hasbro there as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get these opened up. Again, we're going to go through an entire case of 16 until we have revealed all 16 characters that one would find in the case if you were lucky enough to find a case of these. If you do pick up these individually, you can also find these at your local comic book store as well, where Spot sees a lot of these available. And without further ado, let's open up the first box and see what we got inside. Now, learning our lesson, or learning my lesson from the Masters of the Universe figures that we looked at as well, I know that the accessories, or something in that regard, are on the outside bag. They're not actually in the bag. I don't see that the accessories are in there, but one thing that does show is that the file card is being included, but the file card is on the outside. It's inside the box, but outside the foil bag. This also tells us who we're going to be getting inside, a codename, Firefly. I love how it's even got the old cutouts, like with the scissors. You know, I love doing that when I got my original G.I. Joes back in the 80s. Yes, I was actually around when G.I. Joes were first, not quite first, if you want to count the dolls, but when the first 3 3/4 figures were around, I was still hitting the Kmarts. I'm going to throw a name out there, Wolco, here in Canada. I don't know if there was Wolco in the States, but yeah, those were my go-to places for picking up G.I. Joes. You could probably find them, I think they were about 3 something, and they were really affordable toys for kids picking up. A little less pricey than also the Transformers, unless you got yourself like little small bumblebees and stuff like that. So let's have a look now that we already know the character. We've got ourselves, and dropped his accessories, we've got ourselves Firefly. Now, one thing that Loyal Subjects does do a great job of balancing is super cool details and superposable figures as well. So, for example, we've got ourselves Firefly here. There he is right there. He actually doesn't look that much different than Beachhead. I wonder if Beachhead's going to have similar face to Firefly here. As you can see, though, for posability, they have a ball joint head. They look like a ball joint torso, ball joint shoulders. There's a rotation on the bicep right at the top there. There's a rotation in the hand. Ball joint knees, ball joint legs, I should say. Hinge knees. One of the hands just popped off. Hinge knees, and also ball jointed feet. And let's actually just retrieve. Where's that arm? Where did that arm go? Hold on a second. Let's just go grab that. Yeah, so let's revisit Firefly's arm. He can't be a master of sabotage if he does only have one arm to work with. Now, he does also come with some accessories. Let's open those up now. Beautiful throwbacks to the original figures. I mean, very similar, although the knapsacks are almost identical to how they looked in the original figures. It comes with 2 pieces, a little front section here, and then this covers over top, like that. And you can take that and clip it to the back, right little hole there. Very similar actually to the original G.I. Joes. Just wedge that into place. It also comes with a walkie-talkie. Whoops, and there goes his arm. This time I lost the whole figure. Let's just peg the hand into place here, or peg the walkie-talkie. I think I mentioned this before with the He-Man figures, like the hands are so very closely clammed or like clawed shut. It's hard to get the accessories in there. I wonder if I can get the guns might be a little easier. Yeah, the guns are easier because they have a circular handle. When you have things like the square shape of the little walkie-talkie, it's a little more difficult to get that on them. Spot is just grabbing. There we go. Just grabbing poor Firefly. Second time he's lost his arm. Let's wiggle, get that out of the way there. Plug in his arm once again. It'd be cool if they came with display stands, but nonetheless, there is Firefly. We'll put him right over there. And put his walkie-talkie over there as well. Let's hope we don't drop any more arms or legs or any other appendages of these characters. Just get them to stand here. There we go. Perfect. Let's open up box number 2. And the card kind of again gives away what we're going to be getting. Here we have Snake Eyes, his original look, Snake Eyes. Back when, I guess that would have been the first 5-part miniseries, The Mask Device. You remember Snake Eyes was in a cave getting radioactive material. And through virtue of that, that's when he was found. And I think that's actually when he got timber as well. Love G.I. Joes. I'm trying to think of what my favorite 5-part miniseries from G.I. Joe was, because there was a lot of good ones. There was The Mask Device, which was the original one. Then you had the Weather Dominator. And then you had the Pyramid of Darkness as another one. There's Snake Eyes there with purple goggles. Little pouchlets on his arms. He comes with a couple of different accessories. He comes with a sheath, which we can get into his back here. There we go. He also comes with a really nice sword. Got some red in the handle there. And that can slide into the back. Or you could put it into his hand as well, either or. This one doesn't come with timber, but he comes with like a machine gun. Like that. And he also comes with a pair of... I'm not sure what that is. I thought initially it was a pair of binoculars, but it just looks like a little pouch that he can wear as well. So there's Snake Eyes. Very, very nice looking figure. We'll put him over there along with Firefly. And let's see what we got. Why don't we finish off the first row, and then we'll kind of work our way across. So let's open up the next box again, which is now the third box opening. Also have ourselves a card insert. And here we have Roadblock. Cobra's through, what do we do? I hate to say this, but we're going to have to split the force. Love Roadblock. Roadblock's one of my favorite G.I. Joes. And he comes with his trademark gun. So he comes with a backpack, a helmet as well. Oh, by the way, there's this card, just in case. I'm not going to read the card for every single one of these because we would probably be here. Well, we would be here a little longer, I think, than a lot of what you guys would want to be here for. So what we'll do, I'll just kind of hold the card if you want. If you want to just tells it all about Roadblock being a gourmet chef, which was referenced quite a lot in the original cartoon. And then as for his accessories, comes with his gun, It has a little standee for him. And he also comes with his helmet, and he also comes with a backpack. There's Roadblock right there. Looking very nice. I think he is... Oh yeah, he's a lot bigger. He is a lot bigger than the likes of a Snake Eyes. Let's see how big he is next to Firefly. Quite a bit bigger than Firefly too. That's good. I like that. I think there might have actually been as well another Loyal Subjects G.I. Joe line, because I'm just like looking at the characters that are in this wave. I'm certain I've seen a Duke before and a Cobra Commander. Maybe this is like a Series 2, although it doesn't say Series 2 anywhere here. I'll just peg the backpack into place like that. While we're at it too, we can also give him his helmet. Fits over his head. Little snug. There we go. Now we got that fit over. And we can also give him his gun. Again, the only thing I would nitpick about these figures is that the weapons seem a little difficult to get into their hands. Other than that, though, I just love these things, especially G.I. Joe, because I grew up with G.I. Joe. I think while many people, you have definitive people that kind of liked Transformers or G.I. Joe. There wasn't many that liked in between. You were either really a die-hard G.I. Joe fan or a die-hard Transformers fan. I liked Transformers, but like when it came to playing and picking up the toys, I was more a G.I. Joe guy. I liked it because they were smaller figures. They were more affordable. There's Baroness, by the way. I felt they were more affordable, and I liked the fact that you could get little small figures, but I guess yay high, and you could get vehicles for them, which is the one thing that Transformers didn't have. Virtually, though, oh, it is Wave 2. It actually says right there, Wave 2. Just looking on the box here. I don't know if the box actually says Wave 2. Oh, there's a flag point on there, too. I didn't realize that. There's a whole flag point on the back. It doesn't say Wave 2 on here, but it does say it right here on the bag. See right there? Wave 2. Yeah, I did like G.I. Joes because there was so much fun you could get from the figures, and then, of course, their vehicles that they could sit into. There's the Baroness. Glasses are a little crooked, but we'll fix those up. There we go. All right. Now, Baroness, they've given a slight gray coloring to her plating on her torso, legs, and arms. They've also given her the Cobra logos, again, on the chest, and a section on her arm. I think I would have favored it more so being all black instead of the gray on the contrast of the black, but nonetheless, she comes with her own fair share of weapons. Comes with a longer... Oh, I remember seeing a lot of these, especially if you got yourself the weapons packs. You'd see a lot of these usually in like light gray, sometimes brown, sometimes a green color. You can fit that into her hand. Again, it's a little smaller of a fit. And then she also has a backpack. Now the backpack, though, her hair sticks down pretty far to try to get that backpack. You're gonna have to almost slide it up there to peg it into place, or even remove the head in order to get the backpack in place. But the backpack even has the Cobra logo there as well on it. So I like that. So that does make sense if this is Wave 2, because Wave 1, I seem to recall like a Duke, Cobra Commander. I'm trying to think of who else was in it. I think there was a regular Snake Eyes with the visor. I want to try to maybe go back and pick up a couple of those. I feel like I might have on this channel done a couple of unboxings of those, just individual boxes, certainly not a case. I'd like to go back and pick up more of those maybe. Wave 3, if they ever ventured into Wave 3, I'd like to see some more of the, like a Sergeant Slaughter, a Serpentor. I don't think Zaymot and Tomax made the first wave, and they're certainly not making it in this wave. Got ourselves another Firefly. It's So I won't actually open this one because this is actually two. Let's see if we look at the quantities. 2 of 16 is Firefly. In fact, most of these figures, even though Baroness is 1 of 24, Crimson Guard is 1 of 48, but the ones on the sides look like they're 2 of the wave. So even though we have, what did we say, 16? A lot of these you're going to see repeats of, just by virtue of the fact that there's 2 in every case of 16. Let's open up another box here. See if we can not get ourselves another double. And we got ourselves another Snake Eyes. So what I might do is I'll keep these again sealed. And I have a good friend of mine who loves G.I. Joe as well. I think what I'll do is I'll see if he wants a couple of these. A good healthy ratio of figures per case too. It means that at least if you're looking to pick up key characters, some of the ones are a little harder, like for example the Crimson Guard and Cobra Sniper. Sniper specifically is 1 of 96. 96 boxes you might find 1 Cobra Sniper. That's pretty rare. But all the other ones are fairly healthy quantities. If you wanted to pick up, you know, if you want to pick up, for example, a Cobra Officer, your chances are relatively good. There's the Cobra Officer right there. Now, Cobra Officer, if I get 2 of 16, 2 of these, in other words, out of the 16, that's okay with me. Because I think a Cobra Trooper, you could easily have multiples of these, and that would be perfectly fine. Now, the Cobra Officer, the difference is, at least in the figures, because I used to have these figures, I actually had quite a lot of G.I. Joes. I really wish I didn't get rid of all of them. That's what happens when you get older. Sometimes you do stuff and later on you're like, why did I get rid of these? But the Cobra Officer, one of the more true characteristics of the officer to the guard was that the officer had this strapping across the front, and more importantly, had the silver Cobra emblem. The Cobra Guard, on the other hand, came with a red emblem on the front. And I think there was also a glider trooper too, which was extremely rare. It came with like the old paper gliders, and it had I think also a silver emblem. The other thing that the officer has is the crest that's on its helmet, whereas I think the original guard didn't have that. It was just the helmet itself. I'm certainly a sucker when it comes to army building, so this guy is right up my alley. And if I could get 2 of these guys in a case, all the better. In fact, I also have a soft spot for these. I feel like this might be my favorite figure in the wave. I know it's hard to choose. It's like, who's your favorite child? But I think that might be one of my favorites, the Cobra Officer. It makes me also think that the Wave 1 had the Cobra Guard, so I want to go back and maybe see if I can grab one of those. Speaking of grabbing, let's grab, now finishing off a second row of these, let's grab the final box from that row. And I don't know if you can see it, there's a lot of disastrous mess that's piling over on this side. Drawing not too much attention to it. Of course, now that I've said that, everybody's looking in that direction. The next one we have inside is Beachhead. I might just start putting some of the boxes onto the floor because I'm just making too much space, too much mess here in this small space. Beachhead. He was training the new rookies in the G.I. Joe movie. Also had a good relationship. Him and Mainframe had some adventures. I think they got locked in one of the sarcophagus. I think it was Vlad the Impaler. They got stuck in his sarcophagus when the whole castle got basically just collapsed. And then the Joes found them, and I think Mainframe says to Beachhead, Beachhead, I want to talk to you about your cologne. And Beachhead, in the gruff manner that he is, says, I don't wear cologne. And then Mainframe says, that's what I want to talk to you about. G.I. Joe humor at its finest. That was also another good mini-series too, was the Arise Serpentor Arise. There's Beachhead right there with weapon in hand. Backpack on the back. Looks like he's got a little small crossbow on the back there too. Nice looking figure. And let's answer the age-old question, or at least the question that's as old as this video. It does not look like they have the same face. Firefly's face is a little longer. Beachhead's face is a little more rounder. I'll put these guys over here. Yeah, they have holes on the undersides of their feet, but they sadly don't come with display stands. Let's open the next box here. See what we got going on. And the next box gives us Major Blood. Affiliation, of course, Cobra. Birthplace, Sydney, Australia. Primary, MOS, Terrorists. Secondary, MOS, Weapons and Tactics. And now that we know a little bit more about the Major, let's get him opened up. And much like the Officer, Major Blood has, you don't really see him too often without a helmet. There's Major Blood without a helmet. I think it fits him better, I think, having the helmet. So let's go ahead and do that now. Oh, I like also, too, that they gave him this weapon. This is something that not only the figure had, but I think he has also used in the show. Kind of slightly pointed weapon, to which we will add to his hand. There we go. And of course, one side of Major Blood, he had kind of like a robotic arm thing going on there. He also had this backpack that had these additional arrows. I guess these were like little darts that it fired, judging by the way that the backpack was. Make sure that's completely plugged in. There we go. And now we can add the helmet. Now that looks like Major Blood. Helmet sits a little loose on the Major, but I guess if you're standing him upright, you're not really going to notice it anyways. There's Major Blood. Put him over there with the other pile of figures that we've looked at. And let's open up the next box. Some of these I've noticed have seals on them, other ones have glue. See, this one doesn't have glue, but it had a little sticker on the front. The other one did. The other one didn't. I shouldn't say had sticker, the other one had glue on it. And the next one we have is Blowtorch. I can't tell you all the G.I. Joes I had, but it's probably a lot easier to tell you the ones I didn't have. Blowtorch was a G.I. Joe I didn't have. I always wanted Blowtorch, but I think I ended up getting, I had Barbecue at one point, which was another firefighter themed Joe. I think I tend to gravitate more towards picking up Cobra than G.I. Joe. One time, I remember this very vividly, one time I went to a garage sale on my street, and somebody was selling G.I. Joes and Cobras. And at that time, I had more G.I. Joes than I had Cobras, so I specifically only picked out Cobras so I would have the same number of figures at home. Later on, I realized, what was I doing? Why didn't I just pick up the G.I. Joes too? Because one of the ones that were in that pile was Blowtorch here. So he comes with his helmet. That helmet sits really loose, but it looks like he's got like a little visor front portion here that snaps into place. Like that. There we go. And then that, oh, I see. You have to put it on him first and then attach this, because it doesn't give you enough clearance. There we go. Doesn't give you enough clearance the other way. And then he's got his backpack and of course his blowtorch, to which we can add to. It's a harder plastic, so we have to kind of hold everything in place. There we go. And then he's got his little blowtorch, which let's see if we can actually fit into his hand. Love these figures. Again, sound like a broken record. Getting the hands onto the weapons, very difficult. There is Blowtorch. He was one of the original Joes, at least in the sense of, well, I guess he wasn't in the original series. He wasn't like the Scarlets, because like the first wave, the first 5-part miniseries had very much, I don't think Blowtorch was part of it, but you had like the Stalkers, Clutch, Scarlet, Duke. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Wheeler? I'm trying to think of that guy's name that stays behind in the alternate reality. Ends up staying with Baroness because he had died in her universe. There is Copperhead. Roadblock was one of the original members as well. I'm trying to think of who else was. And then when you had the Weather Dominator episode, then you had a couple of additional characters introduced. For example, Mutt and Junkyard. I don't think they were part of the original wave of Joes. There we go. This guy's one of my favorites, actually. I've always loved the design of Copperhead. Very, very cool. I want to say Water Moccasin. Was it the Water Moccasin that he piloted? I'm only going by memory here. It's been a long time since I collected G.I. Joes. Get both hands holding weapons. There we go. Here you've got Copperhead. Probably another one of my favorites from this wave. Put him right over there. We've got ourselves 5 more boxes. If you guys just tuned in now, Spot's looking at the new G.I. Joe from Loyal Subjects. These are the action vinyls. We're looking at an entire case, as we normally do on this channel. Let's see what we got for the next one. Actually, I do kind of like the fact that the card tells us what exactly the figure is. And it's on the outside, not literally the outside, but the inside. It's outside the bag, so at least you know which figures it is. For example, I'm not going to open it just because I've already opened up the Beachhead. It would look exactly the same. It would just be another one of him. Let's quickly take a tally of the characters that we do have so far. We did get a Cobra Officer. We did get a Copperhead. We did get a Firefly and Major Blood. Beachhead, yes. Roadblock, yes. Snake Eyes, check. Blowtorch, you got it. And we also got ourselves a Baroness. The only ones we didn't get are Crimson Guard and Cobra Sniper. These are actually the only 2 that we're missing from this set. I guess because also the wave is small enough, it affords you the fact that you can likely get all of the figures in this wave. Once again, telling us we've got ourselves a Major Blood, so we don't need to necessarily open that one. Oh, again, I'll probably... Maybe actually I could take these to my comic book store, the doubles, and see if they might have a Crimson Guard and a Cobra Sniper. That is providing we don't find them in this case opening. Once again, we'll open up the next box. And let's have a look at the insert. We've got ourselves Blowtorch, which we've already opened up. And we are now down to 2 more boxes. Let's hope the back card of this case stays up. Stay up. Stay up. Let's go ahead and open up second last box. Look at this mess we've made everywhere. Boy, oh boy. This is one of the messier looking reviews I have seen. And I've seen a lot, let me tell you. The next one we have is Copperhead. I guess really what they could do is do Python Patrol versions of these characters, like Python Patrol, Cobra Officer, which I think was more Cobra Guard. Python Patrol, also Copperhead, both made appearances as the Python Patrol. And there was a Slaughter's Marauders Beachhead. Could do that as well. Let's see what we got for the last figure. Anybody want to take any guess? Anybody want to take? It is another Roadblock. So again, we've already had a look at Roadblock. There's no sense in having a look at him again. Let's, though, do a tally. Let's do a tally of all the figures in this wave. Try not to make too much of... Well, again, we've got so much mess over here. We got the loose figures over here. Let's have a look at them once again. For starters, we got ourselves Blowtorch. Not a bad figure. He's a little loose when it comes to the helmet portion. But we got a Blowtorch. One of my favorites, got a Snake Eyes. Original look Snake Eyes. The first one we opened up, we got our a Firefly. There's the back of him right there. And see what else we got. A Roadblock, a big solid Roadblock. Like that. A Beachhead. Dare I even say my favorite from this wave, Army Builder. I know, he's an Army Builder. And actually, I think this is the only figure we got. This is the only officer we got, even though he's a 2 per case. We got a Cobra Officer. And we got a Copperhead. Copperhead and Cobra Officer, I'm going to say, are my favorites from this wave. Also got a Major Blood. Major Blood right there. And rounding out the batch, also got ourselves a Baroness. And that is your complete, well, not completed complete wave, as we did not get a Crimson Guard. Oh, and we also didn't get ourselves a Cobra Sniper, which doesn't really bother me too much because I think it's the same. It's essentially the same figure as the officer. It's just painted in slightly a brown, almost like a brownish gray color. Crimson Guard would have been cool, but overall, really fun figures from the folks over at Loyal Subjects. Today's collectible spot, we were having a look at the G.I. Joe Real American Hero. This was the Loyal Subjects Los Angeles Action Vinyls. Interested in picking one of these up for yourself? You can find these at your local comic book store. That's where Spot found these as well. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.